What if I told you one man cheated death, came back stronger, and became a racing legend against all odds? This is the jaw-dropping story of Niki Lauda, Formula One champion, fearless competitor, and a symbol of resilience. From a fiery crash that nearly ended his life to a miraculous comeback that shook the world of motorsport, Lauda's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. In this video, we'll uncover every twist and turn in his path to greatness, including the fierce rivalry with James Hunt and the dark truths that followed his historic accident. If you're ready to be inspired by one of the most incredible comebacks in sports history, then stick around. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Unraveled for more stories of untold struggles and triumphs. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the legends who changed the world forever. Let's get started. In 1976, Niki Lauda endured a horrific crash during a Grand Prix, where he was trapped in a burning car and given his last rites. Miraculously, he returned to racing just weeks later, leaving many in awe. However, years later, more about the event and its aftermath came to light, shedding a darker perspective on the incident. Lauda was born in Austria in the late 1940s into a wealthy family with considerable social standing. His upbringing was filled with the comforts that affluence could provide. Yet, when he made the bold decision to abandon university to chase a career in racing, his family was far from supportive. Racing was still a relatively new and notoriously dangerous sport at the time, which likely fueled their disapproval. In retaliation for his choice, Lauda's family denied him financial support, prompting him to sever ties and pursue his dream independently. Determined to fund his racing aspirations, Lauda took a dramatic risk. In the early 1970s, he secured a spot on the March engineering team, racing in both Formula 2 and Formula 1. By taking out a $30,000 loan against his insurance policy, his journey with March was a mixed experience. Despite individual successes, the team struggled overall, hindering his career growth. Recognizing the need for change, Lauda shifted his focus to British Racing Motors, BRM, securing another substantial loan to join their ranks. His tenure at BRM proved slightly more fruitful than his time with March, but the cars remained uncompetitive. Despite this, Lauda's fearlessness on the track caught the attention of both fans and rival teams. After a transmission issue cost him a victory at the Monaco Grand Prix, Lauda's fortunes took a turn when Enzo Ferrari noticed his talent. Ferrari's team, experiencing a downturn, saw potential in Lauda and paid off his debts to BRM to bring him on board. Lauda's candid criticism of Ferrari's 1974 car during his initial test drive might have strained relationships, but he quickly demonstrated his worth. He achieved second place in his first race with the team and soon delivered Ferrari's first Grand Prix win in years at the Spanish Grand Prix. His performance established him as Ferrari's new leading driver. The following year marked even greater achievements for Lauda. He broke records, including completing Germany's Nürburgring racetrack in under 7 minutes. Despite ongoing risks inherent to racing, including frequent mechanical failures and accidents, Lauda remained unfazed, continuing to dominate with a composed, almost indifferent attitude toward both his victories and the dangers he faced. By 1976, Lauda appeared destined for even greater triumphs. However, tragedy awaited at the German Grand Prix. Concerned about the circuit's inadequate safety measures, particularly the lack of fire prevention equipment, Lauda tried to rally his fellow drivers to boycott the event. His efforts were in vain, and the race proceeded as scheduled. During the second lap, disaster struck. Lauda's car veered off the track, collided with a barrier and another vehicle, and erupted in flames. The other driver escaped unharmed, but Lauda was trapped in the inferno. suffering from severe burns and smoke inhalation. Lauda was eventually rescued by other drivers and a fire marshal. His helmet had come loose during the crash, exacerbating the injuries to his face, head, and ear. At the hospital, doctors doubted his survival and administered last rites. Astonishingly, Lauda defied expectations, regaining consciousness and beginning a remarkable recovery. Although the burns left his face permanently scarred, he prioritized returning to racing over extensive cosmetic surgery. Just 6 weeks after the accident, Lauda reappeared at a press conference with his head still bandaged. Despite the trauma and fear that lingered, he resumed racing, securing a fourth-place finish at the Italian Grand Prix. His resilience captivated the racing world. Though not everyone admired his swift comeback, his fiercest competitor, British driver James Hunt, saw Lauda as his primary obstacle to winning the World Championship. The rivalry between Lauda and Hunt reached its climax at the Japanese Grand Prix, the season's final race. Torrential rain created perilous conditions on race day. After 2 laps, Lauda made a decision that shocked many. He withdrew from the race, choosing to prioritize his safety over the championship. The move did not sit well with Ferrari's management. Enzo Ferrari soon began searching for a new lead driver, ultimately selecting Carlos Reutemann from Argentina. Feeling betrayed and unsupported, Lauda decided to leave Ferrari at the end of the season. In 1977, Lauda demonstrated his mastery by clinching the World Championship before the final 2 races, after which he quit Ferrari and signed with their rival, Brabham Alfa Romeo, for a record-breaking $1 million salary. However, his time with Brabham proved challenging due to recurring car design issues, prompting multiple race withdrawals. By 1979, frustrated with the sport's direction, Lauda abruptly retired, dismissing racing as a pointless endeavor. Lauda then embarked on a new venture, founding his own airline, Lauda Air. He even became a licensed pilot, occasionally flying his passengers. Despite his entrepreneurial efforts, financial pressures eventually drew him back to racing. In 1982, he signed with McLaren for a historic $3 million contract. Always an advocate for drivers' rights, Lauda led a successful strike to renegotiate terms that allowed racers greater control over their contracts and salaries. Although his initial return yielded modest results, Lauda found renewed motivation when his new teammate, Alain Prost, pushed him to compete at his highest level. In 1984, Lauda won his 3rd World Championship, a testament to his enduring skill. However, the 1985 season was plagued by injuries and setbacks, leading him to retire from racing for good. Lauda remained connected to the sport through various roles, including commentary and team management. Despite his remarkable survival, the long-term health effects of his 1976 crash lingered. He underwent a double lung transplant and later received a kidney donation from his partner, Birgit Wetzinger. After his first transplanted kidney failed, Niki Lauda passed away peacefully in 2019. His legacy endures as a testament to unparalleled courage, determination, and resilience in the face of unimaginable odds. The story of Lauda's rivalry with James Hunt became legendary, a narrative that transcended the sport itself. Their contrasting personalities, the cool, calculated Lauda and the flamboyant, unpredictable Hunt, captivated audiences and fueled media coverage. The dynamic between the two was portrayed as a clash not just of talent, but of lifestyles and philosophies. However, despite the rivalry's intensity on the track, both men reportedly maintained mutual respect off it. Lauda's withdrawal from the championship deciding race in Japan led to widespread debate. Critics questioned his resolve, while others saw the decision as a courageous act of self-preservation. especially given the lasting physical effects of his accident. His tear ducts had been damaged, impairing his vision, particularly under harsh conditions like heavy rain. Faced with the prospect of another life-threatening situation, Lauda had made a choice that reflected a maturity and wisdom rare in the hyper-competitive world of Formula One. Ferrari's decision to bring in Carlos Reutemann as Lauda's potential replacement created a palpable tension within the team. Lauda viewed this move as a sign of betrayal, further fracturing his already strained relationship with Enzo Ferrari. It was no secret that Lauda and Reutemann had clashed in the past, which only deepened Lauda's resentment. Feeling isolated and disillusioned, Lauda made the bold announcement that he would leave Ferrari at the end of the season. In a defiant demonstration of his prowess, Lauda dominated the 1977 season, securing his second world championship well before the final races. With nothing left to prove and a fractured relationship with Ferrari, he stunned the racing world by quitting the team immediately after clinching the title. He then made an equally bold move by joining Brabham Alfa Romeo, Ferrari's fierce competitor, for a staggering $1 million contract, a move that underscored his growing reputation as a fiercely independent figure within the sport. However, Lauda's time with Brabham was marked by difficulties. The cars were plagued by reliability issues, forcing Lauda to withdraw from multiple races. Despite these setbacks, he managed to secure a respectable fourth-place finish in the 1978 championship. But by 1979, his frustration reached a breaking point. During the Canadian Grand Prix, Lauda abruptly decided to retire from racing, citing a lack of motivation and disdain for the repetitive nature of the sport. His departure was characteristically dramatic. He simply walked away, declaring that he had no interest in driving around in circles. Lauda's departure from racing did not mean a retreat from ambition. He turned his attention to a completely different challenge: aviation. That same year, he founded Lauda Air, an airline that he envisioned as a high-quality service provider. Determined to understand every facet of the business, Lauda earned his pilot's license and occasionally flew planes himself. His dedication to the airline was evident, but operating such a venture proved financially demanding. Despite his wealth from racing, Lauda faced significant challenges in sustaining his airline and eventually found himself needing additional capital. In 1982, Lauda made a highly publicized return to Formula One, this time with McLaren. The terms of his comeback included a record-breaking $3 million salary, underscoring both his market value and his negotiating prowess. Lauda famously quipped that he was being paid $1 for racing and the rest for his personality, a nod to his reputation as a charismatic yet no-nonsense figure. His return was not solely driven by money. However, Lauda sought to re-establish himself at the sport's pinnacle. Before resuming competition, Lauda spearheaded a movement among drivers to challenge restrictive contract terms that limited their ability to negotiate salaries and team commitments. His leadership galvanized other racers to protest by sitting out a race, ultimately forcing the governing body to concede to their demands. This victory underscored Lauda's influence and determination to protect the rights of his peers. Lauda's performance on the track during his second career phase was solid, though not as dominant as his earlier years. He achieved a notable victory at the Long Beach Grand Prix but struggled to replicate his previous success consistently. The following season brought even greater challenges, as Lauda failed to secure any race wins. However, his fortunes shifted when Alain Prost, a rising star from France, joined McLaren. Initially, Lauda felt threatened by Prost's presence and competitive history. Yet, over time, the rivalry between the two drivers evolved into a mutually beneficial dynamic. Rather than succumbing to insecurity, Lauda found himself reinvigorated by Prost's presence. The two drivers pushed each other to new heights, culminating in Lauda's third World Championship in 1984. This victory, achieved by a razor-thin margin, was a testament to Lauda's resilience and tactical brilliance. It also served as a vindication of his decision to return to racing after years away. The 1985 season, however, was far less successful for Lauda. He suffered multiple setbacks, including a broken wrist sustained during practice, which forced him to withdraw from several races. Despite a final Grand Prix victory that year, Lauda decided it was time to retire from racing for good. Unlike his previous departure, this retirement felt more definitive. Lauda had achieved all he had set out to accomplish, and he no longer felt the same passion for the sport. Despite stepping away from competitive racing, Lauda's presence in the motorsport world remained strong. He took on various roles, including serving as a television commentator and advisor for teams like Ferrari and Jaguar. His expertise and insights were highly sought after, and his legacy as a racing legend continued to inspire new generations of drivers. However, the long-term consequences of his 1976 crash continued to affect Lauda's health. Years of exposure to toxic fumes during the accident had damaged his lungs, necessitating a double lung transplant later in life. He also faced kidney failure, which led to a poignant chapter in his personal life. After his brother's kidney donation failed, Lauda's girlfriend, Birgit Wetzinger, donated one of her kidneys, extending his life and deepening their bond. Niki Lauda passed away peacefully in his sleep in 2019. His death marked the end of an extraordinary life filled with triumphs, tragedies, and unparalleled determination. His story remains a powerful reminder of the human spirit's capacity to overcome adversity, leaving an indelible mark on the world of motorsport and beyond. The rivalry and achievements of Niki Lauda continued to influence racing culture and media for decades after his retirement. Documentaries, films, and books have chronicled his story, most notably the film Rush, directed by Ron Howard, which dramatized his intense 1976 championship battle with James Hunt. This cinematic portrayal brought renewed attention to Lauda's perseverance, focusing on both his near-fatal accident and his triumphant return to racing. Audiences were captivated by the film's depiction of the psychological and physical challenges Lauda endured, as well as his strategic mindset that distinguished him from many of his contemporaries. In his post-racing career, Lauda took on responsibilities that demonstrated his deep understanding of both business and motorsports. His airline, Lauda Air, faced several highs and lows. At one point, the airline gained a reputation for high-quality service and innovative operations. However, tragedy struck in 1991 when a Lauda Air flight crashed in Thailand, killing all 223 people aboard. The accident was attributed to a mechanical malfunction involving the thrust reverser. Lauda personally involved himself in the investigation, determined to uncover the truth behind the catastrophe. His hands-on approach and relentless pursuit of answers earned him respect, though the tragedy weighed heavily on him for years. Despite the challenges in aviation, Lauda's leadership skills did not go unnoticed in the corporate world. He was appointed to key positions within Formula One teams, most notably Mercedes-AMG Petronas. Lauda played a crucial role in securing the signing of Lewis Hamilton, a decision that proved transformative for the team's dominance in the sport. His mentorship and strategic advice were invaluable, helping shape Mercedes into a powerhouse that consistently clinched world championships. Colleagues and drivers often praised Lauda for his straightforward, no-nonsense approach to problem-solving and leadership. Even in his later years, Lauda remained a recognizable and respected figure in global motorsports. His sharp wit and candid opinions made him a sought-after commentator and speaker at racing events. Fans admired his ability to reflect on both his triumphs and hardships with humility and humor. He never shied away from discussing the physical and emotional toll of his racing career, including the permanent scars and health issues that followed him throughout his life. Lauda's personal life also garnered attention, particularly his relationships and family. He was married twice and had 5 children. His bond with Birgit Wetzinger, who donated a kidney to him, became a testament to the profound connections he maintained with those closest to him. Their partnership highlighted the quieter, more personal side of a man often known for his intense public persona. As his health deteriorated in his final years, Lauda underwent several medical procedures to manage the lingering effects of his injuries and illnesses. The double lung transplant he received was a critical step in prolonging his life, but complications from his kidneys continued to pose serious risks. Nonetheless, Lauda maintained his involvement in motorsport until the end, offering guidance to younger drivers and teams. When news of his passing in 2019 broke, tributes poured in from around the world. Racing legends, current drivers, and fans alike honored Lauda's legacy, emphasizing his unparalleled resilience and the profound impact he had on the sport. His life story, filled with both extraordinary success and heartbreaking setbacks, became a symbol of what it means to face adversity head-on and emerge stronger. In the years since his death, Lauda's influence remains evident in the ongoing evolution of Formula One. His emphasis on safety reforms, shaped by his personal experience with danger, helped push for better standards across racing circuits worldwide. He also left an indelible mark on team management and driver relations, with many of his strategies continuing to guide how teams operate today. Lauda's name is now etched into the annals of motorsport history as one of its greatest icons. His journey, from a young man who risked everything to enter racing to a global ambassador for the sport, serves as a testament to the power of determination and the unyielding drive to achieve greatness despite overwhelming odds. His legacy lives on through the stories told by those who witnessed his remarkable life, as well as through the racers and teams he inspired to strive for excellence both on and off the track. With Lauda's story deeply ingrained in Formula One's history, his presence was immortalized not only through films and media but also in the technical and safety advancements of the sport. His near-death experience in the 1976 crash became a pivotal moment that spurred new conversations about the safety of racing circuits, particularly the measures needed to prevent and respond to fires. His advocacy for better infrastructure laid the groundwork for stricter safety protocols, including improved helmets, fire-resistant suits, and circuit design changes to minimize high-risk areas. Lauda's role as a key figure in Formula One leadership extended beyond his time as a driver. When he became involved with Mercedes, his influence helped shape one of the most dominant eras in the sport's history. His collaboration with team principal Toto Wolff and his ability to foster relationships with drivers like Lewis Hamilton demonstrated his keen understanding of both the sport's technical requirements and the human factors that drive performance. Hamilton, in particular, credited Lauda with being a crucial mentor and supporter during pivotal moments in his career. Despite his no-nonsense attitude, Lauda was deeply respected for his ability to balance honesty with compassion. He often spoke candidly about the mental and physical pressures that drivers faced, drawing from his own experiences to offer advice. This openness created a lasting bond with younger drivers who admired his fearlessness both on and off the track. As Lauda's airline business evolved, he faced further challenges in the competitive aviation industry. After the tragic 1991 crash, Lauda Air underwent a series of restructurings and partnerships, eventually being integrated into Austrian Airlines. Lauda's reputation for thoroughness and accountability during the investigation of the crash bolstered his public image, but the incident remained a personal burden. Despite the setbacks, he continued to explore opportunities in the aviation sector, launching new ventures and expanding his presence in both business and motorsport. Lauda's approach to life remained consistent. He prioritized action, decisiveness, and pragmatism over dwelling on setbacks. In interviews, he often reflected on how the accident that nearly claimed his life had altered his perspective, making him more focused on the things that truly mattered. He saw every challenge as an opportunity to learn and improve, a philosophy that carried him through his most difficult moments. His relationships with colleagues, family, and friends also underscored his complex personality. While he could be blunt and demanding in professional settings, those close to him described a loyal and generous individual who valued deep connections. His marriage to Birgit Wetzinger, who stood by him through his health struggles, became a testament to the enduring strength of their partnership. Birgit's selfless act of donating a kidney to Lauda in 2005 symbolized the profound trust and commitment between them. In his later years, Lauda became a revered elder statesman of Formula One. He was often seen at races, sharing his insights with reporters and cheering on teams and drivers he admired. His comments carried significant weight within the sport, and his presence was a reminder of the resilience and courage that defined his career. When Lauda passed away, his loss was felt across the world. Racing organizations, drivers, and fans paid homage to the man who had transformed both the perception and the reality of Formula One. Tributes highlighted his incredible comeback from the brink of death, his advocacy for driver safety, and his contributions to modern motorsport's growth. Statues, memorials, and dedications soon followed, ensuring that future generations would remember the man who redefined what it meant to be a champion. Lauda's legacy is a complex tapestry woven from moments of triumph, tragedy, and tenacity. He exemplified the spirit of perseverance, demonstrating time and again that obstacles could be overcome with determination and vision. His life story resonates not just with racing fans, but with anyone inspired by tales of human endurance and achievement. By the time of his passing in 2019, Lauda had firmly cemented his place as one of the greatest figures in sporting history. His journey from a wealthy Austrian upbringing to global fame was marked by decisions that defied convention and risks that few would dare to take. Yet, through all the highs and lows, Lauda remained true to himself, a man defined by action, ambition, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Niki Lauda's incredible life journey, filled with both triumphs and tragedies, serves as a lasting testament to human perseverance and ambition. From overcoming a near-fatal crash to becoming a three-time Formula One world champion and a respected leader in both motorsport and aviation, Lauda's story continues to inspire millions around the globe. His relentless drive for success and unwavering courage made him one of the most iconic figures in racing history. If you found this deep dive into Niki Lauda's legacy captivating, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Unraveled for more powerful stories of legends who defy the odds. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest content that uncovers the hidden truths and untold moments behind the greatest icons in history. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.